Hey Bullfrogs, Miss Fleener here with the final project for our Black History Month theme. We are going to now take all three of our works of art that we have done since the beginning of February, our Finn-inspired chickens, our Sandra Charles-inspired portraits, and our Ed Hamilton-inspired sculptures, and put them into our mini gallery. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make that mini gallery. So in addition to those works of art, you are going to need two full-size sheets of paper. They can be two pieces of paper from a notebook, so with lines on them. They could be two colored pieces of paper, or they could be two white pieces of paper, but they need to be the full size. So we're not using any small paper for this. You will need some tape. Scotch tape, duct tape, masking tape, it doesn't matter which. I'm going to be using this decorative tape today just so that you can see where I put the tape on my paper. When I used Scotch tape in my example, I realized that you couldn't see the Scotch tape in the video, so I am going to be using this decorative tape. You will also need something to draw with and something to color with to create the floor and any extras you might need inside your gallery for decorations. In addition to some optional items, and not limited to these items, might be some scrap paper to make extras like a bench, Lego people to have people in your gallery, scissors if you're using the scrap paper to make things, you might need to cut them also, glue stick in case you need to glue anything inside your gallery. And then I have, to make my Ed Hamilton sculpture stand, I've taken a piece of cardboard and glued my sculpture onto that. So there's an option as well. You could also have your sculpture sitting if you can't make it stand and you don't have any cardboard to add him to. So lots of options with this project. I'm going to show you how to make the gallery stand up, and then from there it's going to be completely up to you. You're going to start by turning your two pieces of paper portrait style, or tall like a building, and lining them up side by side. So they're right up against each other, but they are not on top of each other. So my hands are touching, but one hand is not on top of the other. So touching's good, on top of is not good. Once I have them lined up, top and bottom, I'm going to take a piece of my tape. I can find the end here. And I don't need too long of a piece because I only want to tape this seam about halfway down. So I am not taping all the way. I'm going to say that again. Do not tape from top to bottom. We're only taping halfway. So I'm going to take my piece of tape and I'm going to put it right near the top there. I'm going to smooth it on so that it's holding my two pieces of paper together. Now I'm going to flip my paper over so the tape is on the back. And I'm going to fold my both pieces of paper, the left side and the right side, in half, hamburger style. So I'm going to grab the bottom, bring it up to the top, hold the top and press down. And I want a really nice crisp fold. So I'm going to go over that a couple times to make it really nice and crisp. So that was the right side. Here's the left. Bring that up to the top, hold with one hand, come down and press. Once both sides are folded, I'm going to open them back up, and then I'm going to stand my walls up so they make an L. So I'm holding them up. They're not holding themselves quite yet. So I'm holding my walls up for that L shape. And I'm going to grab the right side and I'm going to lift up the floor and I'm going to slide it over here on top of the left side. So now I have the corner of a room. So I'm going to undo that, and I'm going to show you with a little bit of labeling. So I do not want you to write any of this stuff on your paper, but I labeled this one just so that you could see where your walls were going to be and where your floor is going to be. So the walls are from the fold up and the floor is from the fold down. And because the floor overlaps, you have some dead space here that you don't need. You can decorate the floor completely on both sides, but this will not be seen right here. So what I like to do is when I bring my walls up, that L shape again, and slide my floor, my right side floor, over on top of my left side floor, I take a pencil and I make a light line right there to mark how much floor I'm going to need to decorate on the left. So I only decorate that much, and I don't worry about this empty space here. So there's the walls and floors right there. Now I'm going to show you my finished gallery all set up. So here I've put my artwork on the walls. I glued my finished chicken on and my self-portrait, or my Sandra Charles inspired portrait. You can switch them up. The chicken can go on the right and the portrait can go on the left. It doesn't really matter. I added some plaques here of the title of my piece and who it was. So I'm the artist, so I've added my name. And then I decorated my floor to look like black and white tiles. So I'm going to fold it up into my L, and then I'm going to slide my right side over on top of my left. And if my folds are nice and crisp, I won't need any tape. So this is completely portable. I can always fold it up and store it somewhere. I don't have to have a spot where it's going to need to sit up. Then I can bring in my Ed Hamilton sculpture and position it where I would like. I've created my benches. So I'm going to add those in front of my artwork here so people want to sit and look at the artwork. And then I position my Lego people wherever I can get them to stand. This guy does not want to cooperate. Ah! There it goes. So there's my gallery. I'm going to show you how I did some of those details now. So I'm going to take my artwork and my glue stick, and I'm going to put some glue on my artwork, and I'm going to stick it to my wall. And it doesn't have to be in the middle. I could shift it to one side or the other. This is completely your mini gallery. So I want you to display your artwork in your gallery how you see fit, what you're trying to accomplish in your design space. There's my Charles portrait. I would like your artwork to be colored. The only reason these two are not is because I do have a fully colored example that I have already shown you. And this is just kind of to show technique and placement of things. It's not my finished product. You've already seen that. So I am going to bring my floor over. Make sure my folds are crisp so that lines up correctly. Grab my pencil and lightly sketch the line of where my floor would stop. And then when I go to draw the floor, I'm going to open my paper up and lay it flat. Because it's way easier to draw on something flat than standing up. And then I'll grab a marker. I'm going to use my ruler. And I'm going to do the floor a little bit different on this one. So I did a tile floor on the other one. But this one I'm going to do maybe like wood planks. I'm not going to be too precise about my measuring. I'm more concerned about my lines being straight than evenly spaced. So start with my horizontal lines. And then I'm going to come back and just randomly kind of add some vertical lines to show where one board might end and another one might start. And then I could add some nail holes. Now I could also go as far as adding some wood grain, but I don't think, excuse me, that is necessary. Now here's the trick. When I go to put my right side on top of my left side, the floor changes directions. So I want to be careful about drawing the floor, because we're tempted to do this side, the left side, the same as the right side. But as you can see, my floor changes direction. So I actually have to draw my floor the other way for it to line up properly. So now, there's my wooden floor. I can draw my plaque directly on the wall. And fill in the words. I would probably use something smaller than this marker to write inside that little plaque so it looks nice and neat. And I've also seen where people have put a sign that says do not touch, because that's very important in galleries and museums, that we don't get our oils and the dirt from our hands onto the artwork, so that others can enjoy it after us. So there's just some basics for you. I can't wait to see what other ideas that you have. Please make sure that your artwork is colored, not just drawn, that you have completed the assignment by coloring, and that you take a picture of your artwork and submit it in the appropriate assignment under classwork. I'm so excited about the finished product. I hope that you've enjoyed this as much as I have, and I can't wait to share this with others.